This session was recorded live on Facebook. This next question came from someone who was struggling within the Divine Love community. How did Jesus handle difficult situations even though he carried the divine love? Jesus spent a lot of time in prayer with God. While he had lots of help in the form of his disciples, and he was often with others, he also often went off by himself into nature, where he could feel at peace with the creation and deeply connected to the Creator. That was the primary way that Jesus handled all situations, difficult and otherwise, is to just keep receiving, seeking more and more and more of God's love. Remember that Jesus gave his own will up for God. He wanted God's will and only God's will to be done in and through him. And he understood that that meant he had to keep returning to the well of God. And know, too, that Jesus did actually struggle with challenges when he was mortal. One in particular that was disturbing for him was that his father didn't understand, his earthly father, Joseph, did not understand how he was the Messiah, the way that he was supporting God, because it didn't look the way that Joseph expected it to. Joseph did expect Jesus to be the Messiah, but he thought he knew what that meant. And that caused Jesus to feel sadness. It caused Jesus to feel disconnected from his earthly father, which he didn't want. It caused them to be apart physically more than they otherwise would have. It caused Jesus to go away because he didn't want to have conflict with his father. So realize that even Jesus could not control someone else, what their thoughts and feelings were. So we have to just realize that we only get to choose our own thoughts, words, and deeds. And we're always going to get help every time we go to God. And that's really the only way. And it is simple, but it's not easy. And the reason it's not easy is because we keep needing to. We make progress, then we have a dry spell. We make progress, we have a dry spell. We make progress, we have a dry spell. And again, that's why the faith is required. We have to believe in the goodness of God and in our own guidance, even when God is silent. And by the way, this happens to me frequently. And I just have learned over time, I just simply can't stop going to God. I just can't stop. Even if I don't feel that I'm receiving a felt experience or, a heard response or some particular insight that I'm looking for, I've learned over time that I just have to trust. Just have to trust.